Wave.
All right, welcome everyone. We're going to bring the meeting to order at 5:58 p.m. We're going to stand up to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so roll call. Mr. Novak is not here today, so he's absent. Ethel is also absent. Kyle is absent. Wendy? Yep. Here. Stacy, I'm here. Marissa? Keith? All right, and David Nadeau? No.
Sure.
Kim?
Present.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Someone second? Do we need to do that? Yep.
I'll second.
Make a change to the agenda.
Okay.
Talked to Chad earlier, and we are removing action item number 2, the approval
ML.
Request to MLCC for
Okay.
Island.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and we'll approve it as it is then. Okay. Then do we need to take a vote on that or do we just go ahead?
Get a first, right?
Yeah, we had a first. Do we need a second for
Second.
that? So we have a motion to change the agenda to remove the second action item for the vote and approval for the Island Fest. We're going to bump that to our next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Present, approved. We also need to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Would someone like to make a motion to approve those minutes?
Moved.
Second?
Support.
Okay. So individually, I will vote yes, approval. Wendy? Yes. Marissa? Keith? Yes. David? Yes. Kim? Oh, sorry. My bad. So the minutes have been approved from the last meeting. Next on the agenda, we do have a presentation today. Matt Sipe from Rains is here to discuss the Pier 4 repair.
Matt, thanks for coming in. Commission, I invited Matt here. Just all of you have the documents, the bid documents in front of you. Hopefully you read through those. I always find it helpful. I did invite Bridget Hurst from Boat Hoist USA, the company that we would like to award the bid to. She may be running late, I'm not sure. But it's nice to hear it from the engineer's side on what's happening. You saw the splits between the bids. So Matt, kind of just give us a brief understanding of the scope of work and what we're doing.
Well, basically, we're trying to salvage Pier 4 at Water's Edge Marina. When we started the bidding process, we thought we were just going to be removing the deck, replacing a couple of the pilings, and replacing the deck. The bids were already out, and we had, I can't remember the date, but we had a real strong west wind, pushed the water out. We got to see what the pilings look like, and we're just flabbergasted. So we generated an addendum to the RFP and compensated for that. Basically, we're replacing the whole pier without the finger docks. We'll leave the finger docks there. The south railing of the deck, we believe is salvageable. The rest we're going to demo off, drive new pilings next to the old ones, then go back to replacing the deck, get it back to where it's safe. Honestly, I won't walk on the thing. And we kind of got some urgency when we saw the condition it was in, because we want to get new pilings in by late February, early March, before the ice comes downstream, because it'll probably wipe it out if the ice gets there. So I've been trying to contact Eagle and not doing real well with them. I think we're going to have to proceed no matter what and do an after-the-fact permit if we have to. That's kind of how we want to approach it with Eagle anyway. We'll apply for the permit and just kind of leave it open. Once we get that deck off and see what we've got 100%, then we know what we can do with the permit, or what's necessary. So I think we're going to be all right that way. It's a little bit of forgiveness versus permission, but I think in the situation we need to do it that way. We were really dumbfounded by the spread on the two bids we got. We actually had quite a bit of interest. What do we have? 4 or 5 contractors at the pre-award.
Walkthrough.
Pre-bid. It was actually the pre-bid site meeting. And I think most of them thought it was a bigger project than it was, and just kind of bowed out. Anglin, I think they needed to, or felt they needed to put in a bid, just stay on bidding list, and to show their interest because they have done work for the township. And just threw in a crazy high number just so they knew they wouldn't get it and not have to deal with it. We have met with Boat Hoist USA, who we're very familiar with. Anybody on this island is very familiar with them. And they're comfortable with their bid. We really, really scrutinized it, made sure that because of that spread, they had everything covered, and they feel they do. So, I mean, we've recommended to award it, and I think it'll be a big improvement. You'll be able to use it again. Yeah, you know, the scope of the work now, we will be removing the electric and water on it. There's no point in basically having a general contractor, which would be Boat Hoist USA, hire an electrician, hire a plumber to put that stuff back on. We're going to make provisions for it. That can be done down the road, probably a lot more affordably, because they have to, if they run it through their books, they have to probably put at least 15% on it. So it makes more sense for the township to do it that way. Really, all I can think of to tell you, you've got the bids. Any questions?
Yeah, I do. So because the difference of the bids, with the company we're giving it to, if they run into issues they didn't foresee, what happens?
I didn't hear you, Keith, I'm sorry.
The company who's doing the work runs into issues even though you scrutinize
If there's unforeseens, unforeseens are unforeseens. Now,
Yeah.
we've tried to cover it. I mean, basically, the scope of the work that we put into the RFP when we did our addendum is replacing the whole thing. So, yeah, I can't see much going on that we haven't covered. And if we did, it would be minimal because it would be that south piece of channel iron. Probably hit the most $1,000 worth of material. And these people are really good at working with you. You know, we're here, let's just do it.
Right.
So,
If we don't do it, I mean, the ice could take it out and take out.
Right.
well, another
That's-
big
I mean, that's
concern,
the scary part. I mean, we have to do something.
another big concern with losing this, because we had discussed just demoing it, getting rid of it, and then going back in with something in the future. If we take this one out, this one's the buffer for the rest of them. It takes the brunt of everything coming downstream. Last I knew, there was a massive telephone pole up against it. It's just an example of that deflects everything before it gets to the other piers, so. Yeah. Okay, while I'm here, do we want to talk about the fence at
Yeah,
Centennial Farm?
Yeah, I did, while you're here, Matt, we had been briefly talking, well, we went out for bid for the farm fences last year. Came in extremely high. I believe it was like 150 for just the first 3. I don't have anything, but it's on record that we have discussed it. And we have decided to wait because the price of everything during COVID and inflation and all that, that the last statement that I had made to the commission was we were going to rebid this year, January, February. So Matt and I have been speaking, and he's been doing a lot of research. And again, the product that we were going to replace those farm fences was resin, because it's more durable.
HDP, high-density polyethylene. It's not attractive for the horses to chew on, like the wood is. And if they do, it's really hard for them to damage it. Actually, a section of the water main that we just put in on Meridian is the same type of material, HDP, the part we went under the canal with, because it's flexible but it's strong. And unfortunately, COVID was a lot of it, but at the same time, last winter's ice storms in Texas are what spurred the resin shortage. It basically shut down and did a lot of damage to the facilities that produce the resin. And not only that, a lot of the resin comes from China. That's really dropped off, the supply has. So, yeah, I contacted the manufacturer of the fence that we originally were building our scope from and asked about pricing, and the lady actually laughed at me on the phone. She says, honey, you don't want to go there. It's triple. So, and I actually made some calls on pipe material because we're very familiar with pipe material. And they told us the same thing. The price is triple from what it was this time last year. I don't want to waste your money on us going to bid again. I would rather see another solution. I can't help but wonder with what I saw last year, unless things have really degraded, maybe we just do some repairs for a year or two.
That's what we've been doing.
Stabilize. You know, don't even go back with complete replacement. Just go through and make repairs. You know, there's a lot of good material there. Replace a lot of the top rails because that seems to be the easiest for the horses to chew on. I do want to do some more research because I've been told there are products out there that you can treat the wood with that's less desirable for the horses to chew. And it's not supposed to affect the horses. Now, I really haven't had a chance to look into it hard, but I grew up on a farm. We raised horses, we boarded horses. I've never seen horses chew on wood like that.
Must be tasty wood.
They've been chewing a lot of years.
Well, when I mean, you know, I was fairly young then, but I do remember anytime I asked about a horse that did that, they said it was a nutritional thing. The horse is looking for something. Don't know. But, yeah, maybe there is something that'll deter it. If it's got to be sprayed on there a couple times a year, it might be worth it. But it's just consideration. I really don't think right now. I love the idea of the HDP. It seems to be a premium product. I just don't think it's cost effective. So, not a problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have public comment. We don't appear to have anybody here for public comment, so we'll pass that on up. Chairperson's report, not here. Director's report, Kim.
I have no report.
Business. Looks like we're still trying to find a high school representative.
Yep, I have a lead on an interested candidate that I'm going to be contacting in the next week.
Okay, perfect. We are going to forego some of the subcommittee updates, but we are going to talk about the senior meeting is going to be canceled for January 11th. So that will not be happening. And then as well, under lease land contracts, the Smokies lease is going to go to the board for approval on January 10th. So again, next week. The youth engagement for the middle school is here. If you'd like to give us your update. Okay.
We are very sad this month to say goodbye to our principal, Mr. Whitehouse. He will not be coming back. NWA testing was this week. That was a drain of energy completely. And there are girls' basketball tryouts this week from 7th to 8th grade, I believe.
Thank you. Do you want to go with anything, or do you want to do your youth engagement or anything else with that?
I don't have anything since the last meeting.
Okay. Wendy?
Okay, so just for me, just to piggyback off what Emma had said, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Mr. Whitehouse for all that he has done for his students, the staff, and the middle school families, both present and previous families. He's been there for over 5 years as principal. He has decided to step away from his role as principal, And it is my understanding that he'll be back in a different capacity within the district. So fingers crossed, because he is a huge, huge part of the team, and he will definitely be missed. He's an amazing principal, and we're sad that he's leaving. And the only other thing I wanted to touch on real quick was the News Herald put out their 2021 football teams. Like, they picked from a bunch of different cities and the top performers. So some of our Grosio kids made that. So Travis Simons made it for the second team football. Ian Rush was honorable mention. Hunter Proctor, special teams. And then also honorable mentions were Aiden Pullen, Colin Howard, and Zachary Lowe. And then Tyler Swick, too, was on the dream team, and Jake Reno was first team. So it was a nice little shout out for all of our kids, because they worked really hard this season. And that's all I have.
Okay. All right, thank you, Wendy. All right, next we have our action items. The only item that we have on there is to vote and approve to award the bid to Boat Hoist USA for the rehabilitation of Pier 4 in the amount of $49,693. Would someone like to make a motion to take that vote?
I'll make a motion.
Second? Okay, we have a motion. Do we have any discussion? Nope, okay. I vote yay. Marissa?
Yay.
Keith?
Yes.
And David? Okay, all right. Oh, Wendy, sorry.
Yes.
I was trying to not look over there to ask you girls. All right. All right, so everybody's in favor, and so we are approving to award the bid to Boat Hoist USA for the rehabilitation of Pier 4. And that's about it. No discussion items. Does anybody have any individual commissioner comments? All right,
I do.
okay.
I just wanted to give a shout out to Chad, because we know he's watching us, and hopefully you're on the couch all cozied up, getting better. Okay.
We missed you.
Oh, yes. Oh, hang on, my thing wasn't on. My.
Oh, jeez.
Start it, say it again.
All right. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Chad, because he's homesick, and hopefully he's taking care of himself and getting better. We miss him, so we love you, Chad.
Yeah, get well, Chad.
All right, so our next meeting will be February 3rd. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn? All right, second? All right, we adjourn this meeting at 6:16 p.m.
Record.
Record.
I bet you